When my grandmother passed away, I got to see what her first day was like in heaven, or at least parts of it. And oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. Hi, my name's Dakota Lee. I have a gift to see in the spirit. I'm also a professional animal communicator. And the really cool part of all of my giftings is that God has been letting me visit heaven since I was 12 years old. When my grandmother passed away just last year, I got the news and it hit me like a punch in the gut. Oh my gosh, I thought that woman would live forever. She was in her 90s. And a few days later, I was on the phone with my aunt. We were making funeral arrangements, my mom, my aunt, and me. And I just got a little overwhelmed, but I felt like I should open my spiritual eyes, and I saw my grandmother. She had basically tapped me on the shoulder, almost a subconscious cue to look. So I saw her. She said in the most softest, beautiful voice, "Dakota, I wanted to show you something." And I made another video about this, but she actually aged backwards, back to an age where I barely recognized her, which is why she wanted to show me her aging back to when she felt most comfortable. She had really thick, dark hair, almost black hair. That was not the end of the vision. Sometimes these visions happen in heaven time. So I'm experiencing a vision really fast while my mom and aunt were having a conversation. And they didn't even know that I was seeing something really amazing until I told them after. Well, she asked me to follow her, and I did, and I watched her as she walked into this beautiful golden field in heaven. And this is often a place where a lot of people first go. It's where I saw my dog named Hope when she passed away. She ran straight into this field. They're somehow tied to the real Garden of Eden on earth. So my grandmother walked into this garden, and my grandfather, who was also aged much younger, was waiting for her. It was clear they'd already greeted each other, but he was so happy to just, she had come to tap me on the shoulder, and then she had come right back to heaven. Well, he grabbed her hand, and I could just tell he was happy to have his wife back. He was like, my woman. And they walked for a while, and I was allowed to follow and to see. And my grandfather was so busy with his beautiful wife. But we walked into this really wooded, hilly area, and I saw this house. I stayed sort of outside, just kind of staring at it, trying to take it in. It had 2 levels, like a basement level, and then a second level that had this really big deck attached to it. And my grandfather had somehow built this engineless elevator, a platform that you could step on from the lowest level, pull a rope, and it would raise you up to the second level to go in. The thing about my grandfather on earth, loved working with his hands. And so I knew as I watched that, my grandfather had decided, he didn't have to, he had decided while he was waiting for my grandmother to build her an entire house. That's love right there. He didn't have to build her a house. He could have asked God, he could have asked Jesus, or it doesn't all have to happen like a snap of a finger. People were architects on earth and keep wanting to design things in heaven, who come and they will design houses, and people who love to build. And so some of the ways that God works through us on earth, also he'll work through people in heaven, because through the building of things, you're going to meet more people and create a community. Although sometimes these places are built with God's snap of a finger. But his ways are sometimes mysterious, but in a good way. What was so interesting is that I heard as my grandfather was inviting my grandmother into her house that he built for her, he said, it's not fully finished. And what was so cute is that the doors on the second level, after he brought her up on this platform elevator, the doors on that second level they're kind of like rough, unfinished wood, but it was wood. And that's also my grandfather. He just loved to have lots of projects. Just some of them are just sort of hanging, and some of them were just functional enough. Not all got the finishing touches, but he was still working on it. Or he got excited with something else and just was like, the doors can wait. They're good enough. I'm going to make something else perfect. Again, time doesn't always match up on earth and in heaven, but my grandmother was just so happy, like a calm kind of happy. She wasn't always calm in her older age. So it was good to see her like that with a real beautiful strength. Well, I do see couples that love each other in heaven. My grandparents are one such pair. And when Jesus was speaking about there will not be marriage in heaven, what he means is that people will still have choice in heaven, but they will not be locked into their arranged marriages. And I just see love in heaven when people are coupled up. It's just love.